Peace to the galaxy. It's your boy Supreme, back with another video, and today is a good ass day. Today, we're about to talk about ball pythons. Are they really the best beginner pet snake? But before we jump into the video, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and join Invader Nation for me. And don't forget to go check us out on TikTok at Invader Reptiles. Is the ball python the best beginner pet snake? I'm going to go ahead and say, in my opinion, yes. Snake kisses. Yes, the ball python is the best beginner pet snake, and it depends on what type of beginner you are, right? So before we talk about some reasons why it's the best beginner pet snake, let's talk about how to see what type of beginner you are. If you're a person who's never picked up a reptile or held a snake, you've never had a friend or a family member who's had a snake or even went to the pet store to hold one, I would say the ball python is the best beginner pet snake for you. Me personally, I feel like I could have actually started out with a carpet python or a super dwarf, something that wouldn't get too big but was a little bit more active. But let's get into some reasons why the ball python is the best beginner pet snake specifically, right? Let's start with the morphs. So when it comes to getting a snake, most of us get a snake because we want to show it off. Speaking of show it off, here's some cool clips I got. When it comes to variety, ball pythons take home the first place easily, right? I remember when I first went to go get a snake, one of my problems were that I had a problem picking out what morph I actually wanted because there were so many and they were all in a price that I could actually obtain, right? That's another thing, right? Ball pythons do have, the low end ball python, I guess, which would be like a normal, which could go from anywhere from $75 to $150 to like the crazy high end. You got your pieds, you got your pied, orange ghost, desert, like they're 5 gene, 6 gene ball pythons that could be, thousands of dollars, right? So there's a market for everybody. If you have a little bit of money or if you have a lot of money and you want to invest and become a breeder, ball pythons are a great beginner first snake, right? So we just talked about price, right? Let's talk about availability. Right now, if you go on Morph Market, matter of fact, let's check Morph Market right now. So we check Morph Market right now. There are 26,995 ball pythons for sale. Ball python market is booming. So if you want to get you a ball python, they're pretty easy to find. One thing I would say is I wouldn't suggest getting your ball python from like a PetSmart or a Petco. I've always, heard bad things about those, and I've actually looked in some of them myself, and I saw they don't really, I don't want to say they don't know how, but it looks like they don't care enough to take care of the animal. So when you get one from a Petco or a PetSmart, they might not be as healthy as if you get them from a big ball python breeder. Another reason ball pythons make a great beginner pet snake is because of their temperament. They don't move around that much. They're nowhere near as active as my super dwarf reticulated python or as my breadleaf python. They just chill. Once you tame them down, they're chill, which is another reason why they're great for beginners. If you're a beginner, especially if you're like a teenager or a kid, one of the things that helped me in the very beginning, like get over my fear of actually getting a ball python, was I saw a YouTube video and it was like a little girl holding a snake, and it was, she went from hatchlings to adult ball pythons, and I didn't see any reaction out of the snake like I thought. I think there's a big misconception behind snakes, especially ball pythons. Ball pythons are one of the most friendliest and docile, calm animals, not just out of snakes. Look at her. Another thing that's great about ball pythons, and I guess that this pertains to any reptile or any other animal, is that they each have different personalities. So you can, spend time with your ball pythons and then you can develop an individual relationship with each of them. I know that a lot of people get snakes. I see TikToks of this all the time. People who just have a snake and they just feed it a rat every now and then, and that's their relationship. They don't actually get to hold it or handle it. The ball python is such a handleable and almost personable animal. You know, I say that my ball pythons know me, but you know, I don't really know. I guess the last thing I would say that makes the ball python a great beginner pet snake is that it doesn't get too big. You see, this is a full-grown adult female. Just like any other snake, females are bigger with ball pythons, but typically she's about, this is 7, she's about 1,500 grams, but the biggest ball python I've ever actually seen was about 3,500 grams, which is still a pretty big snake. And I like to hold the bigger ones. You know, I think that it's easier to, you know, manipulate them and hold them and support their body when they're bigger. Because, you know, the smaller ones are just like, you really don't really feel them, because a ball python, even though it is a pretty, you know, heavy-bodied snake, it's really not that heavy. So that's a great thing about the ball python. It won't get too big, and you won't have to increase the enclosure by too much, and you won't have to move up your food size, right? I know when you get a big snake, everybody wants to just feed it. Everybody wants to feed it a bunch of, you know, rabbits and big rodents. You don't have to feed a ball python rabbits. You won't have to feed them pigs. They don't get that big. So maybe you'll have to move up to like large, maybe extra large rats for a female if you're trying to get them ready to breed. Speaking of breeding, ball pythons are supposed to be the easiest to breed. I mean, I'm having a little trouble with my first ball python breeding season. I don't really know where we're going. You know, I got an update for you guys coming soon, but stay tuned for that. But in my opinion, definitely the ball python is the best beginner pet snake, man. Look at this. This is a beautiful animal. But that's pretty much it for the video. Stay tuned for some more. It's your boy Supreme. I'm out.